Hello everyone! There's no better way to celebrate an event than with a delicious fluffy cake. Whether that's a birthday party, an anniversary, or a wedding, baking a cake is a great way of doing that. However, baking a cake might seem difficult at first. So, in this video, I will show you the basics of how to bake a cake. A good way to start baking a cake for the first time is by using box cake mix. Not only will each box have directions on them, but you're guaranteed that it'll be delicious. Depending on the box, you'll need different ingredients. For example, some call for butter. However, you'll usually need eggs, non-stick spray, vegetable oil, something to measure with, a pan to cook it in, and a mixing bowl. Make sure you preheat the oven to however hot the instructions call for before you begin mixing. Now you can begin to mix your ingredients. For eggs, make sure you tap them on a cornered surface such as the mixing bowl or inside the lip of a sink. Not too hard, but just enough to crack it. Shells can be disposed of in the trash or garbage disposal if you've got one. For the liquids such as water, oil, or milk, make sure that you measure exactly as the box calls for and pour with a steady hand. You can use 2 hands if that works for you. Before we begin to pour the cake mix, make sure you use a fork and pre-mix the eggs and oil and water all together. This should end up to have you a frothy mix before you add anything else to it. Now you can add the cake mixture to your mixing bowl. Make sure you stir thoroughly and make sure to mix out any lumps or dry mix for an even mixture and a better tasting cake. Before pouring the mixture into this pan, remember to spray it with the non-stick spray. Make sure to get the sides and the bottom of the pan. When pouring the cake mixture into the pan, make sure you pour as even as possible. You can use a spoon or ladle and make sure the surface is smooth and even. You can use a ladle or a spoon and make sure that the surface is flat and even. Now put the pan into the oven and be careful not to touch the sides of the oven with your hands or arms. It's best to use an oven mitt for this just in case. Set some kind of a timer. This can be a kitchen timer, a microwave timer, or a phone timer. Just make sure you set it for how long the box calls for. If, say, the box is 30 to 40 minutes, you can set it for 35 minutes in the middle. Now that the cake is baking, you can use this time to clean up your kitchen, throw away the garbage, and clean the dishes. It's always better to get this out of the way sooner than later. Remember, do not leave out of earshot of the timer and stay in the same room of the oven if possible. Never leave a hot oven unsupervised while baking. When it comes time to take your cake out of the oven, be very careful and use oven mitts. Set the pan on a surface that won't get damaged from heat, like a cooling rack, a wooden cutting board, a cookie pan, or a marble countertop. I hope through this video you've learned some of the basics of baking a cake. Once you've gotten good at baking box cakes, you can start exploring different recipes and different boxes. Now all that's left to do is enjoy your delicious fluffy cake.